I think it's quicker to answer this in a quick video. So I used to have a really large layout upstairs, and then I got rid of it about 10 years ago. So I had this, from what I remember, the most fun I had was just kind of switching. So I set this little layout up for switching, and I dropped about 4 feeder wires on this layout. And then I started trying to run locomotives on it, and when I'd pass a switch, sometimes it'd go through and sometimes it would die. And if I'd mess with the switch, all of a sudden it might work, it might not. So, okay, let's just look at this switch. So when I say for every switch, make sure you have power going out 3 ways. 1, 2, 3. So on most of my switches, okay, you probably can't see it, but I soldered feeders to the bottom of my joiners. So there's going to be, let's say, I can't see the color. Let's just say this is red and this is black. Okay, red, black. Here, I did the same thing, red and black. Follow this to this side of the switch, red, black. Now all 3 sides of the switch are connected or have continuity. Beyond this switch, as long as the joiners have good contact, I would recommend soldering the joiners, and if you do so, use something powerful like a 100-watt gun or more, so you can just hit it pretty quick. And then I would come back and I hit it with a damp sponge, or just, so it doesn't melt the ties. Anyway, the theory is, though, this track all the way down to the end, I wouldn't have to worry about. But do you get what I mean? Every time you hit one of these, this is a Peco Insulfrog. See, it has tiny gaps in it, but I have current keepers in all my locomotives, and it's very rare that one would cut out anyway. I'm not into the whole Insulfrog thing. The only other time I used to get a short was right there where those 2 rails come together, but they've done a better job of spacing that, and I would take a file, like a triangle profile type file, and bring that down a bit to space that so the wheel couldn't bridge it. So anyway, if I jump over to, say, this one, let's do the same thing. Red, black, come down here, red, black, red, black. Now I'm coming up to another switch. So on this side, I'm okay, because I've got my feeders, red, black, red, black. But as soon as I'm into it, and this is, I forgot what they call it, double slip, I think they call it. I made sure all 4, because this is, has 4 tracks basically. 1, 2, red, black, red, black, red, black, red, black. So I just made sure between this switch point and this switch point that there's 2 feeders between. And then this whole section is okay all the way up until you see another switch. So I'm good on this side, right? These 2 have been powered all the way down. So I just made sure that these 2 sides have feeders, and these 2, because beyond the switch, you're kind of depending on the connection of the points, and you really don't want to do that. I think I have a photo of the bottom of this I'll send along with this video, but I hope that helps. Just make sure that, just think it through wherever you start. If I started right here, again, red, black, because I have so many switches. If this was a straightaway with no switches off it, I'm fine, as long as I have a red and black somewhere on that side of the switch. and then a red black on this side of the switch, and then a red black here. Because if you don't do it here, this short crossover is going to be dead. So anyway, I hope that helps. If you have any other questions, ask.